Welcome everybody back on the video. Today we are doing the Bottle of Knowledge tier list. We have been given so much bottles from the Epic Dash, and hopefully you've been buying the bottle from the powder shop every time it does refresh. I think it refreshes every single 45 days, so therefore we get about what? Maybe like 9 to 10 bottles a year just from that. And it's good, right? If you don't know what a Bottle of Knowledge is, it's basically a free duplicate for any artifact you want to max out. Now I'm saying this right off the bat. Preferably, I do recommend limited artifacts, but there are some RGB artifacts that can really make good use of bottles that are really OP. Alright, so just keep that in mind. Preferably, these bottles, save them for limited artifacts, especially for collaboration artifacts, which again, we have yet to get a collaboration this year. Hopefully we get one very, very soon. We have to just wait and see. Hopefully they announce something on the live stream. I'm not really expecting that, to be honest, but hey, they could. Who knows? They could, but we'll see. So let's get into it. Now, in the S tier, everything from Proof of Friendship all the way over to Queen's Whistle, actually technically, all the way to Uber's Tooth, really need to have it maxed out. Now, if you don't have it maxed out, they are not 100% chance to proc. And that's the only problem with some of these artifacts, right? While I do think they're definitely OP, you can make a debate at plus 15, but you're coin flipping. If they are not plus 30, these artifacts, you can lose the game because of that. If you don't proc your 3F damage, your MOAS damage, you don't proc the Benimar's Tachi attack, you can lose, right? So all these artifacts from Uber's Tooth all the way to Proof of Friendship really need plus 30. Right, Proof of Friendship, insane artifact, right? HP, Young Sanya's artifact, she will potentially get a rerun very, very soon, maybe within the next couple months or so, because she did come before Flan, and it's almost that time of year where they should get a rerun, right? Sweet Miracle, really want this maxed out to get the debuff duration -1, 3F, Rocket Punch, and all that. These right here are very, very good in terms of damage. Again, 3F has yet to get a counterpart like Rocket Punch got MOAS. Right, this is basically for defense units. 3F, we have yet to get that. Hopefully we get it very, very soon. I would love to get it before end of the year, but we shall see. It is up to Smilegate for them to really decide if we're going to get this or not. Right, we did recently get Tachi's, we got Guardian Ice Crystal, and we got the MOAS. 3 limited banners already thus far. So hopefully, again, hopefully this is next in line, because this artifact absolutely insane, and I do think some units really make good use of this artifact, right? So, especially Belian, it really makes her so much better, right? Rocket Punch, MOAS, really good on Bossarunka, Phyllis. Fighter Maya is not that bad of an option for Guild War if you still use that character. But those characters really make use of it the most. Karina as well. But other than that, it's up to you if you want to max it or not. Tachi's, really the only character I can think of that really makes good use of it is going to be Straze. Now, I'm pretty sure there's another character, but I cannot really remember who could make good use of it. Emma Kawazu is also a good example, but he's very, very niche. This is really good for him, but he's pretty niche when it comes to RTA, right? So again, this is strictly for Straze. If you don't have Straze, you can really just push this off, but Straze is so good right now. It's really insane to have this artifact maxed out, especially if you don't have a mid or if you don't want to run a attack booster, right? So it does give you a guaranteed attack buff and immunity plus 30, 100% chance. So just keep that in mind. Next is going to be Renewed Will and Queen Whistle. These two artifacts increases your team's attack, but Renewed Will push the entire team up at plus 30, 100%. If you don't have it at plus 30, it's going to be 50-50 for each unit individually. So just keep that in mind. Queen Whistle will push, but it's only going to be ARAM that's going to be getting pushed. Right? Which it works out. Right? ARAM's really the only one that really needs to get pushed with her on the team. And it does reset the cooldowns and yada, right? You know how ARAM works. But again, Renewed Will is strictly for Rangers. Bryceria Firelytica makes the best use of this artifact. It's actually kind of insane how this artifact is an RGB artifact. And it's one of the few ones up here. It's so good, it's really worth giving bottles. Like, it's literally like a Warhorn, but just push for the entire team. It's just not the same amount of push, right? It's like 15%. Overall, OP artifact. Same thing with ARAM, very good. But again, it's literally just self-push for ARAM, and honestly, I think it's literally just for her. If you run anybody else, I can't think of anyone else that can really use it like her, that can make the best use of it. But again, overall, we'll see what happens in the future, right? Holy Sack, Uber's Tooth. Holy Sack is a game changer. If this is not proc, you lose. Best units for this is going to be Mort. FCC's not that bad. Blue Crowd's not that bad either. Euphine. There's so many characters that can actually use this artifact. It's kind of insane, right? It's really insane. Again, another RGB artifact that's currently up here. Again, if you don't know what Holy Sack does, basically 100% chance to come back to life. That's absolutely insane. But again, it has to be plus 30. Not having it plus 30 feels really, really bad. And at that point, if it doesn't proc, you might as well run some other artifact. So again, it's one of the few artifacts that's really, really worth bottling. Next is going to be Uber's Tooth. Uber's Tooth is a RGB artifact, but it does not have its own banner, which means you can't really pick this banner or pick this artifact on any banner. That's just how bad it is, right? No character is sticking to this tooth. So I can't summon on any custom banner. I can't pop the banner weekly. The only way to really get this is from the powder shop or just get lucky. That's really about the only way to really get this artifact. But main two characters are going to be Ammo Para and Amiki. This artifact on Para is absolutely insane. It is broken. It's absolutely broken. And Amiki, obviously broken as well with Tooth. Without Tooth, I would not really even touch Amiki at all. You really, really want this on Amiki and Para. There's no one or the other. You really want them on both, right? Next, Guardian Ice Crystals. Now, if you are a turn 2 player, this is probably not that bad to bottle. I do think it's a very, very good OP artifact, but the meta is not the same as it was back then. So I do think only having 2 to 3 Guardian Ice Crystals is worth it. But it's like one of those artifacts that are perfectly fine at plus 15. Having it plus 30 is nice, but you don't really need it, right? It's up to you at that point. It's good. I love it. It's just more healing and all that, and more ER if I remember correctly. But these two artifacts, pretty insane, right? I like them. I like them a lot. Next is the A tier, which is going to be a mid artifact and the Summer Hwa-Young artifact. Now, a mid artifact, I don't think it really needs to be maxed because you can play around it being maxed, just giving your character 350 crit damage, and then you don't even need the crit damage buff from this artifact. You're basically running this artifact for the push. Alright, that's what I use as artifact most of the time is for the push, but sometimes I do need that crit damage buff when it comes to arena because of some teams. Now, if you don't have a mid, nor use a mid, you don't really need to touch this artifact. Alright, this is basically for people who run to use a mid, run a mid. If you spam cleave and all that, then you really want to max this out. I do arena frames, I go for arena top 3, so therefore, I maxed it out. It was a good investment. Even though I don't use a mid that much right now, in this specific week in arena, she's still gonna be good. Maybe she changes next week. Again, the meta changes quite a bit every single week. I've noticed that. When it comes to arena, I use some characters more often than others. It really just depends on the week and people's teams. So overall, it's very, very good. Now, Summer Photogenic, I think this artifact is pretty OP on paper, but I have yet to touch it. I've seen some people use it in the E7 World Cup. Celine from Fivers is a very good option as well because it does ignore damage share. I don't know who else can actually really use it besides Summer Hwa-Young. The thing is, Summer Hwa-Young doesn't even want this artifact. I just use Portrait or Symbol on my Summer Hwa-Young. So, like, I like the artifact, but I just need to see more people use it to really give a more statement on it. I think it's good. Again, it looks OP on paper. 100% chance to ignore damage sharing. That's pretty OP. But again, I can't really justify it putting it in S tier compared to everything else inside S tier, right? So I will put it in A tier. Overall, I think it's good. I think it's very, very good. You can make a debate for Guardian Ice Crystals inside A tier as well, if you really want to, right? But again, it's a really good artifact. I like it quite a bit. Next is going to be Flan's artifact in the B tier. B tier, Flan artifact is very, very good, but it's literally just for Flan. It's like a mid artifact, but the mid artifact has a lot more... It does a lot more than this, right? While Dreamlike Holiday does give your Flan attack buff and increased crit damage, it's mainly for Flan, and the problem is, yes, you can give her this, but like it doesn't even need to be maxed out. Flan's damage is already absolutely insane, right? So like, it's nice to have this maxed out, but I don't think you really need it maxed out. You only need plus 15. That's all I think. Mine's like plus 21, and it's been plus 21 for the longest time. I have no need to give it a bottle. Oh yeah, attack buff doesn't proc and all that, but it's still very, very nice regardless. You still get a crit damage increase. Just having this artifact on your Flan. So it's good overall. I like it quite a bit. Next is going to be Guard Captain Crown Thorn of the Blue Rose artifact. Now another RGB artifact, which I desperately think is worth talking about. So you get 10 free souls, you get a damage increase, and when you soul burn, you get an additional damage increase. It's very, very insane. Guard Captain Crow, best usage. Emma Arias, not that bad of an option as well. Straze, pretty good as well with this. This was a key artifact when it comes to Judge Kisei inside of Arena. But the problem with Judge Kisei is I think she's fallen off quite a bit. I don't think she's that safe anymore. There's so much safer options in Arena right now instead of using Judge Kisei. So I can't really recommend Judge Kisei anymore. But overall, this artifact is absolutely insane. The amount of value it does give is bonkers. This literally can pass off as like a limited artifact for how good it is. I want to bottle it, but I recently just bottled my mid artifact, and I'm gonna probably bottle my Tachis next, and then after Tachi, and then I'll come over here to the Thorn and the Blue Rose. But we'll see. We'll see. This artifact's so good. I really want it maxed out because I would definitely use this over Portrait if I had it maxed out. But again, we'll see. It's a very, very good artifact. Wind Rider, same situation as Uber's Tooth. You really can't, summon this on a specific manner. Even, it's funny enough, right? It's Renock. But obviously it's not Renock's artifact. So which means you kind of have to get lucky to get this artifact. Now, we just had this in a powder shop. So hopefully you ball it out on the powder shop and just bought as many Wind Riders as you possibly can. Because again, it's a very, very good artifact. Now, I do think this artifact does not need to be maxed out, which is nice. I think it's perfectly fine plus 15. But obviously having it maxed out gives you more damage. It's very, very nice, right? Next, Prayer of the Solitude. It was falling off for a bit, but thanks to the release of Emma Aria, again, Emma Aria's artifact as well, and Alencia. It's a very, very good artifact for those two characters, and hopefully potentially any more bruises in the future. I love this artifact. More HP, more damage on your HP, and if you do extra hit, more damage. It's really, really good. I like it. I want to bottle this, but again, I got to bottle Tachis. I didn't have a Tachi this entire time, right? With Strike of the Apparition coming out, I finally have my hands on Tachi. All these years, I didn't have Tachi. So now I have my hands on Tachi. So this comes first before I do want to touch some of these. Next is going to be C tier, which is going to be Guiding Light and Fairy Tail. Guiding Light is perfectly fine at plus 15. It's a 100% chance to proc anyways when you start your turn. So it's good. Now after your first turn, Guiding Light is not 100% chance. At max, it's like 70%. And honestly, since it's 70%, I don't really justify spending bottles on it. I think Guiding Light is like, if it was a 100% chance to proc, sure, I would definitely recommend this, put it as an S tier. But Guiding Light is like one of those artifacts, all you need is plus 15. 70% chance to proc at maxed out, I'm not wasting bottles on this. I don't like that. I don't really like artifacts like that. Next is going to be Guiding Light. Now, Guiding Light, Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is perfectly fine at plus 15. If you do max out, you are basically maxing out for an additional 500 damage. Now, that 500 damage goes a long way because you're doing a 500 additional damage to the entire team, which means that's about 2k. So, just keep that in mind, right? Harsetti, Archdemon are the main two uses of this. Even, honestly, Fairy Tail Tenebria is not bad on this artifact. But again, I do prefer Book on her. But again, it's a very, very good artifact. You don't really need it maxed out. If you have it maxed out, it's more for the damage. And you do get a huge damage increase. Because again, you're fighting a team. So you're proccing additional 500 damage on everybody. That's kind of a lot. Right? But, other than that though, thank you for watching the video. Hope you have a good day. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, right, you see some of these artifacts down here, and you want to ask about it, leave a comment, and I'll definitely reply. On that though, hope you have a good day, and peace out.